Hey there everybody, this is Austin, Best I Can Afford Antiques channel. Today we're just going to talk about a few different colors of uranium glass. It's very difficult to spot some of these colors, and if you wait until the end, I've got a pretty rare, very uncommon color of uranium glass to show you. I'm pretty sure it's uranium. I should precursor this by saying that some of these pieces might be manganese, and I've mixed them up. But I think I've got a handle on that, and we'll talk about what we know and what we don't, and yeah, we'll just see what's going on here. So our mission today is to look at different colors of uranium glass that have surprised me. Now, take this one for example. This is white. I mean, it is just white. It's covered in baby powder. Excuse it. Excuse me, I'm a mess of a man. But you would never, ever just look at that and think it was uranium glass. And I'll show you guys all of them glowing at the end here. Obviously, this is a bit of a custard glass, and you can see that it's got just a tinge of green to it. Excuse like the dust and stuff and all these. I'm not a very clean person. But so look at this as a comparison. You can see how this is sort of opaque. And like I said, you'll see all these glowing in just a minute here. This is Heisey glass. And you can see his little mark on the bottom there. But I mean, comparatively speaking, you can see those two are pretty close to the same color, but this is more of a white, sort of opaque. And I would almost call that an opaline. So yeah, we're just looking at different colors, seeing which of them glow, and I'm going to tell you right now that every piece here glows in a somewhat different fashion. So we've got this creatively named lion. You'll see you'll see what he's holding there. And I've given him an appropriate name. But he's actually just slightly off-white, a little bit of green tinge to him, but he's iridized as well. I'm sure you can see like the pearlescent sheen on him. And he's a very cool piece. Now this is what I would typically... I mean, if I saw this out in the wild, I would think immediately, this is uranium glass. This is the tone and shade you're looking for to buy something that's going to be pretty much guaranteed to be uranium glass. There are similar colors. I think this is another pretty typical. As long as it's like a brightly colored green, you're usually pretty safe. Same goes for the yellow greens. So these will almost always be very brightly colored uranium glass. That shoe will fluoresce brighter than almost any other piece on this table, as well as this little salt cellar by Degenhardt. No mark or anything. I'm pretty sure that's by Degenhardt. But I mean, this uranium glass color, that will fluoresce brightly. Another little piece right here. Like I said, we'll look at all these glowing in just a second, but I want you to see the colors so that when you go out, I almost think this is cut glass. Is this cut uranium glass? Wow, with a frosted edge? I'm gonna have to check this out, I think. Now that I'm looking at it a little closer. I just grabbed it for the video. You know, I got stuff laying all over that I haven't even like barely looked at, so you'll have to excuse me if I'm just learning about something now. Okay, so we've got another. I mean, any indication at all that would be a piece of uranium glass, I mean, I'd I'd laugh in your face. I'd be like, yeah, it's not. And yet, there we go. So, in just a second, after we've actually looked at all the colors we're supposed to look at, we'll turn off the lights and see what glows. Now look at this. Now there is just maybe like the slightest kind of sickly green to it. But mostly this is gray. I mean, this is a gray piece of glass, and it's sort of opaque. And, I mean, it's just got a little bit of uranium content in it, but it's definitely there. And I believe this is quite an old piece. This will be Victorian, I'm almost positive. What haven't we talked about? I'm sure we talked about this white one, but I am absolutely blown away by this little white vase. I'm pretty sure that'll be old and maybe Czech. This is Fenton. Burmese glass, they almost always glow. This is older U.S. glass company. Very cool little snake on it. Wraps all the way around. So these are some of the colors you can maybe expect to see some fluorescence in. This back here, I'm going to add a picture of a frosted a frosted Vaseline glass piece that I just shipped out today. But sometimes the uranium glass is also frosted, so obviously it's a little bit opaque. It just looks like it has frost on it. It's super easy. I mean, if you see one of these colors and it's frosted, I mean, chances are it's probably uranium glass as well. Now, these are manganese, and we'll see the differences in the way they fluoresce, but this little row right here is manganese. The blue, purple, two clears, clear, blue, orange. Well, actually, clear on the outside. So sometimes manganese is used in clear glass. It's not always, but sometimes. And you'll see the fluorescence difference when I shine everybody here. I'm going to turn off the lights in just a second. And then over here, we've got cadmium. So you see orange, red, yellow, and sort of like this amberina. You'll find a lot of those glow, and it's just the yellow portions that glow. Although I have to say, I don't see any real yellow portions on this. Well, now that I'm looking at it up close, though, don't I? Yeah, right at the rim there, that's sort of yellow. So there must be sort of like a cased yellow on the outside of that, and I'll show you why I think that in a minute. Let me move some things back here. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was so fast and so destructive. Okay, alright. So let's turn off some lights and actually look at these things. Ooh, we're in the dark alone together? Wow. Okay, now this isn't a flashlight. This is a 365 Newton, no, Newton meter is a torque measurement. This is a 365 nm UV light. And you can see what it does to uranium. I mean, it's gonna be like barely visible, it's so bright. But yeah, I mean, this is that little Heisey cup. You can still kind of see through it. And what an amazing thing is that? I mean, wow. I wish we could do a little better on the, Anyway, so you see what all this uranium glass is glowing like. That Fenton cruet, I mean, that's ridiculously bright. So this little fella, I mean, isn't that kind of amazing? Let me focus it in here a little bit so we're just looking at one piece at a time and you don't think the other piece's shine is giving these pieces any shine. So yeah, I mean, just wackadoodly, isn't it? I mean, look at this fella. I wonder if there's anything we can do. I'm going to stop the video and come back to this in 1 second. Okay, yeah, apparently my phone just doesn't like bright things in the night. So this is what we're living with. And yeah, Vaseline glass, again, that's going to be one of your brightest glowing ones. My camera's not even going to live with that. And as you can see, I mean, it's just wild. You know, you look at the colors and then you look at how brightly some of these things glow. It's just incredible. So yeah, there we go again. I mean, who would have thought that seashell glowed? And then let's move on to manganese. Manganese, you can tell, is just a little bit like a sickly kind of green. It's not nearly as bright and shiny as the other greens. So I mean, I think it's sort of a yellow green, and it's kind of just, you know, it's there, but it's not like shining your eyes out. It's going to be usually pretty dull and not as green as uranium. You can see the clear glass that's casing this orange core is actually what's glowing here. And yeah, just barely. I think that's manganese again. Now, blue, when you see blue fluorescing, especially like this kind of sickly yellow, that's guaranteed manganese. And then you run into some more clear pieces. You can see this tiny little perfume bottle is just glowing with a manganese glow. And like I said, you know, you can identify this because it's going to fluoresce, but it's not as bright as, like, obviously we've got this glow, which is not intense at all, and then we turn our light to over here, and that's uranium glass, okay? If it's nighttime and it glows anything like this, that's uranium. And we've got, you know, light blues, kind of bluish sea green, and regular green, and all sorts of stuff. So this is an old perfume bottle. It's been glued back together and everything, but you can see that there too. So that's manganese. Now this one's purple. This is actually a purple piece, and when we turn the light back on, you'll see it again. But purple is sometimes made with manganese, which I didn't realize until I had found a different piece. And then we got our blue candlestick way back there, and that glows a little deceptively bright. I'm going to say, you know, I don't know. You know, sometimes I think they might have used manganese and uranium at the same time, but I'm not positive about that at all, so please don't quote me. And then we'll go to the cadmium here. Okay, so this is cadmium. This is that red thing we were looking at just a second ago, and it's glowing pretty brightly orange there. I'll try and reduce a little bit of how much it's hitting each special piece here. And yeah, isn't that just wild? I mean, you would never think that existed just looking at it. Turned my fingernail a little blue, but that's fine. So yeah, cadmium is typically like yellow or orange, and it'll fluoresce like a brighter orange. And this is going to be Rainbow or Blanco or somebody like that. Pilgrim, someone in there. And then I'm not going to mess with the fairy lamp back here, but you can see this Amberina fairy lamp has all sorts of glow to its cadmium portions. So yeah, let's turn the light back on, do a little recap before we're done here, so you can remember what all the colors were since you just saw them glowing. So yeah, the purple has manganese, the clear, the blue, the clear again, and the clear. So I mean, you know, and sometimes, especially in bright light, it's really hard to see some of these glows, so you got to get your light right up to them sometimes. And as I did say, black light works for uranium glass, but not much of anything else. You're not going to get fluorescence from gems. You're not going to get much cadmium glow from like black lights and stuff. Manganese, you're basically not going to be able to see with a black light. So what you want is a 365 NM, which you can find right on Amazon. I went to Amazon, I found a 365 NM flashlight. Let me show you it. What did I just do with it? I'm not going to show you the brand because I don't want to call this like a sales pitch or anything. They're not giving me any money. UV 365, so that's what you want. And I found that on Amazon for $12.99, and then there was free shipping for over $25. So for $26, I didn't have to pay shipping, and I got 2 of these flashlights. So yeah, hopefully this video has been helpful. If you're out hunting for uranium glass, I mean, just remember, it's not always going to be green glass. Sometimes it's going to be white. Sometimes it's just going to be a little bit off-white. Sometimes it's like an old gray thing. I mean, how weird is that, right? So yeah, these blues back here are very important. A lot of the time, that's not even depression glass. That's actual antique, early American pattern glass. For example, this is from the 1880s. Like, that is a 140-year-old piece just sitting there. And yeah, I mean, so why wouldn't it do that? Because it's magic. I mean, isn't this wild? What a crazy thing. So yeah, this is Austin, Best I Can Afford Antiques channel. Hopefully always showing you something, showing you how to hunt something, showing you how to look for something. I mean, whatever you want to do, I hope I'm here to help you. Austin, Best I Can Afford Antiques channel. Everybody have a nice day. Okay, last piece. Little surprise. So you see that's pretty much gray, almost a brownish gray. You would not expect it to do anything at all. I believe this is Orifors from Sweden. It does have a mark on the bottom. Nunta Jarm, 1978, and then SU maybe? SK possibly? Anyway, neat little etching on the front, super cool little piece. Let's just turn off the lights. And have you ever seen a gray piece of glass that did that? Isn't that wild? Do you like it? I like it. I like it a whole bunch. Now this could be manganese. It doesn't have quite the intensity of the uranium, I don't think. So it is possible this one's manganese, but either way, I mean, it glows tremendously cool. And yeah, there we go. Have you ever seen a gray piece of glass that fluoresced like that? So yeah, hopefully I've shown you yet another thing. This is Austin, Best I Can Afford Antiques channel. Hopefully always learning and teaching and showing and doing all sorts of weird stuff. I love you guys.